Hi and welcome to this webinar. This is just a preview webinar actually, and I'm going to give you just a little quick overview of exploring the clicker apps today. My name is Amanda Hartman. I'm one of the speech pathologists and part of the consultancy team here at Spectronics, bringing you online content for you guys to watch in the comfort of your own home. So it's part of the online subscription service. The full featured video about exploring clicker apps can be found on our Spectronics online subscription service. For updates about when webinars come out, you should follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and via our blog. So today's webinars are all about the suite of clicker apps. We were really excited when Clicker began bringing out different apps that did different features because we realized how vital they were for the literacy and learning and language skills of many of the students that we're working with that have diverse learning needs. One of the first places that you might like to go to when you're starting out this is to go, of course, to the Cricksoft the Crick website, so cricksoft.com. And here you can get more information about all of their products, including their clicker apps. And there's a couple of really cool things on there that you can have a look at. There's also, they have run some online training workshops, so if you do need more information, you can also access it there. One of the things that we love at Spectronics here is the full software package Clicker 6. And I do believe that it still has a really strong place for us in our classrooms where we have children working on computers, whether they be Mac or PC. And Clicker 6 does all of the things and more than the apps do. So the Clicker 6 still has a really great place in our classroom for providing literacy support for emergent readers and writers and developing writers, and for kids with dyslexia or learning difficulties, any kid that's a struggling speller or reader. So I think that Clicker 6 it sort of is the full featured program that will run on your computer. So there's still a place for that. However, the clicker apps, what the clicker apps family is trying to do is it's pulling out different features from Clicker 6 and it's supported on an iOS iPad app. So there's advantages to that as well. If you have iPads in your classroom or in your home, whether you have one or two or three or lots or one-to-one, a clicker app might be something that would support children at whatever developing stage of their literacy they are. So the clicker apps, here they are. We've got Clicker Sentences, Clicker Connect, Clicker Docs, and then Clicker Books. So really they all do different things. And this webinar is designed to firstly show you what they look like. Secondly, to give you some practical ideas about how you might use them for the different learners in your classroom. And thirdly, just show you some of the techniques and tricks in the settings to set it up and how to make your own things within each of the apps. So that's what you'll get if you watch the full featured webinar. That's what you'll be able to see when you're looking at all of these clicker apps. So I think the reason that we want to look at one of these webinars is that as educational teams need to make good decisions about the apps that they're choosing, and sometimes one of the things that you want to do is you actually want to see what the apps do. You want to hear some ideas about how it can work for you in your classroom, and that's really what this webinar hopefully will do for you all today. One of the things that I found quite interesting that I liked when I went onto the Crick website was this overview of the different features of all of the clicker writing apps and what each feature, what were the main features for them. So that's a good thing if you're in that decision-making process trying to decide what app will suit the students in your classroom, because it's really important that we still go through that process. Okay, here's the student in my class. This is their level of needs. Okay, what is going to be the right tool to match to them so that they can complete the task within my educational environment? And the other fantastic feature, of course, we've always had this for Clicker 6 is the Learning Grids this is the Learning Grids website, so learninggrids.com, and you really need to go there. You need to create a free account and log in, and as well as there being free resources that you can access for Clicker 6 and a few other things, there are now a whole heap of ready-made clicker app resources as well. And this is a fantastic thing. I mean, really, all of us are busy people, and having some ready-made stuff can be fantastic. So I encourage you to join up to Learning Grids and use that within things. And we'll have a look at it when we look at the apps. Okay. And actually, if you are interested and you have Clicker 6 and you're thinking of Clicker apps, one of our consultancy team members has put together a fantastic webinar about just to demonstrate how Clicker 6 and the Clicker apps work together, because you can make things in Clicker and open them into your Clicker apps, and you can do it the other way. So there's that two-way interactivity. It's really smart technology, and how easy that is to copy and paste things and open things up in between the Clicker 6, the software you've got on your computer, as well as your app. So if you want more information about that, please check Spectronics online and find that webinar and watch that, because that may help you. Okay, for this preview video, we're just going to have a really quick overview, a quick sneak peek look at each of these apps so that you can see what they do. So let's go over to the iPad and check that out now. Okay, here we are on my iPad now, and we're looking at my Clicker app. So let's first check out Clicker Sentences, the green one. Clicker Sentences is basically a tool for emergent readers, people that are perhaps learning to just do really early writing. And the idea is up the top here we have a message window, a writing window, and down the bottom is the grid. And when I tap on the words, shoelaces, the words get sent up to the message window. I also have 4 tools that are on top of my grid that you can see. So there's a red button, that's a backspace button to delete words. I also have the orange button is the return button to take me to a new line. And I will also show you that if you push the green button, it actually takes you to a child-friendly keyboard that has uppercase and lowercase. Okay, so you can actually use a combination of the grid as well as a quite easy to use keyboard as well. Anyway, we can backspace those. I'll demonstrate what the blue button does in a while. So the idea with this app is that, wait for it to catch up. The idea for this app is that I can tap on... I can tie my shoelaces. So you see I can tap on the words down the bottom on the bottom grid, and then when I put the punctuation on, I can tie my shoelaces. It'll read it. I can also tap on the picture, so if I wanted to insert the picture into my writing document up the top too. So that's basically how it works. I've got some settings that I can change, where I can change the document, the speech settings, that sort of thing. I've also got my, this is my edit window that I'll show you when we look at it, to show you how easy it is to add your own sentences, paste your own sentences. And the only other thing really to have a navigate and to know about Clicker Sentences is that we have the little folder button back at the beginning, and this is just basically where I have all my files of things that I've done. This is also where I can connect directly to the Learning Grids website so that I can download ready-made Clicker Sentences grids here. All I'd need to do is just enter my password and email and password to log in, because I already have a created account, but you can do that. So we'll just go back. These are all the things on my iPad, and we were looking at the iCan grid, so we'll open it up. So there's a whole lot of things and extra features that we can see. When I swipe my finger along the bottom grid, you can see all the different sentences. This was an example one that came for free, but I just wanted to show you that at the end here, this is where I've been able to just demonstrate in different workshops how you can add your own photo and your own sentences easily. So it's a fantastic app, and it does this very, very well. You've got speech feedback, you've got the ability to have the sentence that they're trying to write modeled for them, spoken for them. As I said, it's got that that ability to help the writing process through the use of pictures, and also helping them to formulate the sentences in a variety of ways. So I think that in a lot of cases this is a useful app for students. So if you want to see more about it and you want to watch and see how all of the different features and the different ways I've used the app, then maybe you can watch the the full featured webinar. So this was just the preview. The sneak peek of it today was what you were getting. So let's now have a look at probably what I would say is maybe the next step up from clicker sentences. So we're starting to encourage more independent writing maybe, and we've still got supports by providing words and phrases, and the idea is that they often have visual supports to them. So now you're looking at Clicker Connect. And Clicker Connect, this reminds me a lot of the grids that I used to create in Clicker 6 when I was working in schools and writing, developing grids for writing grids for kids. So basically, again, I have the writing window up the top, similar to Clicker Sentences, and I have the grid at the bottom. The green button also there allows me to toggle between the grids that I've created and the text window. And again, you will notice that it's a child-friendly keyboard that alternates between the uppercase and the lowercase for those early writers who might not just always only recognize uppercase letters. So that's a fantastic feature. And then in the grid down here, you can see that I have a combination of phrases and words supported with pictures. So for kids that if burger didn't have a picture on it, they wouldn't be able to read that word. Now visually they've got that extra cue. So again, I tap and I can add the extra words. We're having a healthy lunch today, clearly. And what would usually happen?
I like burgers and pizza.
Oh, there it is. So my mirroring is a bit delayed. Okay, so that is Clicker Connect. Again, along the top, if we look at the top toolbar, we have a folder where we can go and open up. There's some examples that came on the iPad and then creating your own. So we can have a look at that. We've also got the ability to change some of the settings. Again, we've got some settings that we can change. And then the last button is our edit button. And this is again where we can go and we can make changes to all sorts of different features of the different grids. And this is also the window, the kind of interface that you use when you're creating your own grids, which in a lot of cases for educators, yes, we like ready-made stuff. We like stuff we can just download and it's good to go. But usually educators, we have particular writing goals that we're trying to match the content in our classroom. So in most cases, and most of the teachers I work with, they want to know how they can make their own Clicker Connect grid. And that's what we'll be doing later down the track. So that is Clicker Connect. Fantastic. Another one of my favorites and has been a long-term favorite of mine is Clicker Docs, and really any early writer of any ability level can benefit from the supports that Clicker Docs puts in. So if you've got kids that are having trouble spelling, kids that are having problems putting their words together. So one of the three main top features that I talk about Clicker Docs having. So again, you can see we've got a similar format. We've got a writing window at the top and a keyboard at the bottom. So the three main supports that I feel that Clicker Docs does really well for our learners, for our literacy learners, kids that are, doing writing tasks, is first of all, we've got speech support, so I can have it speak each sentence or I can have it speak at the end of sentences, which is a really great feature for things like proofreading. Having their text read back aloud to them can really help kids identify when and how and what mistakes they've made. Whereas if they just read it to themselves in their head, they would just keep reading it the wrong way. So that's one of the supports, that it has text to speech, so it has that speech feedback, which is fantastic. Another one that you'll notice is that we also have things like, I'll pick a word. We have what's appearing above my keyboard is text prediction. So it's guessing what word I'm trying to write.
Monster.
And then when I write monster, would I be writing the monster is, the monster can, the monster was? So the monster named, the monster, it's trying to predict even what words, so I can tap on those words to add them onto my sentence. Okay, and then the last fantastic thing that I like about this is that
lives on,
I have, again, if I push the green button on the toolbar, it now gives me a word bank. Now this is a planet word bank, so you can see there's all sorts of planets and words that are related to space in here. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to make a word bank because that's really easy, and I can tap on the word.
Jupiter.
So a kid who might be...
The monster lives on Jupiter.
So kids that most might be able to use the keyboard but need a bit of extra support with word prediction, maybe with words like Jupiter that they can't spell and they're put across into an alphabetical word bank or some sort of grid that you've created with the word bank of words. I love word banks. Word banks are so good for giving good kids good success in writing. You know, those really smart kids that want to use a word but they just can't. Well, they don't want to use the word because they're scared of not knowing how to spell it. So a word bank can give a kid a lot of success and confidence in writing because you're giving them the words that they want to use, the words that were up in their brain but they were just too scared to spell before. So it's really a fantastic feature is the word banks and that's Clicker Docs. Now, Clicker Books is a much trickier kind of one. And when I say trickier, I just mean that there's way more going on because it does way more. The whole idea about it is it's a way to work with students to create their own content in a book format. So I've got some of the examples open up here, and I'll open up one of them to show you. So really it's got the students' ability to have the text read aloud to them. We can add picture supports. We can add those like the word grids, the word banks like we've seen in the other ones. We can use it with word prediction. We've got the same keyboard. We can record our voice into it. So there's a whole lot of features that we can use this for. So the primary function would be to allow students to create their own book with supports, but also teachers can of course create their own content or learning materials. So if you've got a student that wants to learn about where animals live,
rabbits dig underground holes called burrows. They hide in the burrows when there is danger.
Okay, so this is just a way that students can use the combination of photos and the text read aloud for a book, so teachers can create this sort of thing here. So let's just go back out. But then also the other side of it is that in this instance here, that's one I've already done, is that now this is the opportunity for the students to write their own. So it's got the photo, it's got the text button here, and now I have the ability to start writing. And yes, I have a word bank there of some of the words that I might need. Okay, so I can write whatever I want to write. Oopsie, I made a mistake there. You can see I've got word prediction appearing up in my window as I'm writing, so it's helping me out. I can write extra words in there, and then I can quickly slip over to my word bank and add words in there too. Okay, and then when I'm done, now here's me as a student publishing my own work. That was going to read aloud to me there. You're a bit slower on screen to what's happening in front of me. You've caught up there now. So you can see, now I can push the button and it will have that text read aloud to me.
The mouse is sleeping in the grass.
Okay, so this is the way that was just one of the free examples that came. Obviously, it's got just some generic animals, not necessarily Australian animals or anything like that, but that's just an example to show you how then we put the authoring back into the hands of the students so they can create their own books. Now, Clicker Books has a lot of different features to it and a lot of different things that you can add and change and take through into it. So we need to spend a little bit more time so that you know how to add and change content, because as I said, there are heaps of examples that you can download for free if you log into Learning Grids from this opening page here. However, of course, educators, we want to, as I said, create our own content. So I'll be showing you how to do that as well. So that was it. That was our Clicker apps. Well, at least it was a little sneaky, quick preview for you, just to give you a taste of what you might see if you watched the full featured webinar on Spectronics Online. This webinar and other content has been put together by our Spectronics consultancy team. You can follow us, Spectronics, on Facebook, Twitter, and via our blog, and we encourage you to do so. Our consultancy services are also available, and we would love you to contact us if you want more information about on-site or online or even hands-on training that might be needed for your organisation or your school. And if you were lucky enough to attend our conference or not, you can still purchase a virtual registration to our conference from May 2014. Some great content up there. So if you're into online learning and accessing things, there's still some great content that could be available for you there. And also just to flag that in November 2014, we'll be running some literacy instruction workshops for young learners about how we use technology in our classrooms successfully. So you can register for that now, and definitely the Clicker apps will feature within those training days. So I hope you found this webinar valuable. I enjoyed putting it together for you today. And remembering, this is just the preview, so it's finished. So that's just a taste test on the Clicker apps. If you wish to view the webinar in full, it is available through a Spectronics Online subscription. So please go to spectronics.com.au/online to access the video and, of course, lots of other resources. My name's Amanda Hartman, and it's been nice to speak with you today. Thanks. Bye.